Well, this is Gaz Taylor, your old mad dog, and we're back here. Well, there's a train going over Carlisle Bridge. It seems to be a familiar meeting place for it, doesn't it, on these proprietary charity hike, challenge, call it what you will, walks that we're doing currently, ready for JOGLE, that our Johnny Gropes to Land's End hike in aid of St John's Hospice, in which we're wanting to raise £13,500, which is the charitable donations required each day to keep the hospice operating. And so that's why we've called our charity the Pay for a Day. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to pay for a day for St John's Hospice by raising £13,500. Okay, so that's the plug for the charity. We start on the 18th of May, so if you want to donate, go to walkforcare.co.uk. That's walkforcare.co.uk, and that's our website. You'll find all the details there. So we're mixing it up a little bit. We've been doing these walks now for a few weeks, normally between 22 and up to 30 miles we did a few weeks ago. But we've only done 3 that have been like back to back, a Saturday and a Sunday, or a Friday and a Saturday. Mixed it up a bit today because I'm walking to York, so I'm about just about 3.5 miles in, and I'm walking to York, not in a day. I'm not doing it all today. That's because it's depending on whether you go with Google Maps or whether you go with the Ordnance Survey online. It's between 85 and 90 miles, so I wouldn't make that in a day. And I did consider perhaps I could do it in 3 days, but what I really need is I need an extension to the 2-day walks. I need to sort of double that up now, so I'm going to do it over 4 days. So I'm looking at about 22 miles a day, which in itself is all very achievable, albeit that I've got to continue the following day and do another 22 miles and so on. But when we get to, obviously, to JOGLE, we'll be doing, 35, 38 days, day after day. So this is a little practice for that. But also, for the first time in 16 years, I'm actually doing this with a pack. Oh, and it's quite a big pack too. I haven't walked with this pack before. I've had it for some years, but I've never walked with it heavy laden, which it pretty much is. I've tried to keep it as light as possible, and I'm also camping as I go. I haven't booked anywhere. I don't really know where I'm going properly. I've got a rough idea how to get to York, but I've got nothing booked for campsites or anything like that. So it's pretty much, whatever I find at the end of the sort of 22, 23, whatever miles it is. So I bought a brand new tent yesterday. Quite pleased about that. It's pretty lightweight. Also bought a brand new super lightweight sleeping bag, so that's in there. And when I weighed it all, it came out at just £14, just 1 stone. And I thought, well, that's not bad. And I felt it on my back, and it felt okay. And then of course you do the extra bits and pieces just before you set off, and that sort of adds an extra £4 or £5, and I can assure you it's been very uncomfortable walking with it. It's a big old bag. I'm a smaller person than I was 16 years ago. According to my medical records, I've apparently lost 2 inches from somewhere, well, in height. And it's a little bit more, and I'm 16 years older too. Also, I had all the straps wrong, so I was walking along and it was very uncomfortable. I think I've got the straps sorted now. It won't help me with the weight at all, but I'm hoping now to move on. So I'm going to go now through Lancaster and then down, following the Loon out towards Caton Way, and then cross country, some country lanes I've seen on the map that'll get me to a place called Clapham. Not the Clapham as in Clapham Junction, up at the junction down in South London, obviously not. This is Clapham. Is it in Lancashire, or have we crossed the border into Yorkshire there? I'm not sure. We might be actually in Yorkshire there. Anyway, we'll find out. So that's probably the next place that I'll be back on the camera. Probably would be, I don't know, a place called Ray. They're famous for, Ray's a village. They're very famous for, they have an annual scarecrow competition. Everybody puts a scarecrow out in the garden. It's quite a thing. I'm not sure when that is, but they may be there now. The scarecrows could be there. Again, you see, nothing's planned particularly well. You know, it's what I find as I'm rambling along, and I'm definitely rambling along now, so I'm going to shut up, get the pack on my back, and crack on. Bye for now. I've come back on early. I wasn't expecting to be using up as much of my my camera battery as I am doing. We're just passing Skirton Bridge, so you can see, if you know Lancaster, I haven't travelled very far from Carlisle Bridge to here. But the reason for my excitement is, at the last stop, I readjusted the straps on the rucksack, and wow, what a difference. I mean, not uncomfortable now. I mean, who knew? Well, apart from all those people who can put a rucksack on correctly, which now includes me. Oh, echo, and it's fabulous. It's like a weight taken off my shoulders and then put back on my shoulders, but just not as weighty. Honestly, I'm as light as a feather. I'm really enjoying this now, because it was pretty uncomfortable trying to hold the weight in my hands as I sort of drag myself along. But yeah, no, it's all good. Just thought I'd mention that and share it with you. I forgot to mention that the route I've started out on, and in fact it intersects, the route intersects with my destination at York on Saturday. It carries on to Bridlington, so it's called the Way of the Roses. It's a cycle track more than a walking track, though there's nothing to stop you walking it, and I'm doing just over half of it. I'm not following it to the exact metre. I'm sort of going to divert, as I do, probably divert off quite a bit, but I do end up in York, and that is part of the route. It starts in Morecambe, handily. Yeah, so it's Morecambe to Bridlington, Way of the Roses. It's 170 miles, I believe, and opened about 2010, so it's recently new as far as British tracks are concerned. But as I say, it's a cycle track more than it is a walking track. That's its sign up there with the cycle, of course, 69, and the two roses, the red for Lancashire and the white for Yorkshire, as it crosses both counties, hence Way of the Roses. Very clever. Okay, I'm moving on now. I'm going to get to Ray and check out if there's any scarecrows. I've been thinking about this. I do believe that they come out, the scarecrows, round about Bank Holiday, May time, and we're getting up towards that sort of time now. So yeah, maybe they'll be there. Anyway, either which way, I will report back anon. This is the fabulous Crook of Loon, a very popular spot, more so I suppose in the summer. I've not been past here in many a year, but we used to play down there. I used to come here with my friend Ian when we were very young, sort of 6, 7 of age, and this would be full of bathers, you know, people in the swimming cozies, and there'd be all kids and playing, and picnics, parents. We used to come in Ian's father's old Ford Popular car, and it wouldn't take us very long to get here. It's only the other side of Lancaster, so you know, it was hardly a day out in so much as journey time, but boy did we love coming here. And then as we got a bit older, and as I've mentioned on other occasions, we were able to make our own way, our own transport, our bikes, and we'd cycle out here, and we'd spend an afternoon. We'd bring a little bit of crisps and pop, the normal sort of fare at the time, you know, the sort of the thing you take away for your little picnic as a kid, and we'd play down here, well, for hours, to be honest. There's a big truck coming now. I do hope he sees me, because he's refuse van. Here he comes. And yeah, so devoid of, I can see somebody down there with the dogs in the distance down there. A couple of spaniel types, I think, there, and there's some wild waterfowl there. But yeah, as kids we would make little river streams, little castles, little all sorts, playing in the sand and the gravel and stuff. We loved it. Bearing in mind that we were near a beach. We like to come to the Crook of Loon. It was fabulous, but quiet today. Well, we're in the lovely village of Ray, and as I mentioned earlier, scarecrows is their thing, and unfortunately I've got here a few days before the big scarecrow thing happens. Unusual for me to be too soon for something, early even, but I am. However, they are getting ready. You can see from the shot here of the main street, all the little cottages and all the gardens will have their own little scarecrows come the weekend, I'm guessing. They've got a car boot sale on. There's also a quiz if you want to come to that. By the time you read this, they'll all be over though. Georgian Dragon Pub, lovely. Just had a pint in there. Corby Ale from Cumbria. Very hoppy, very nice. Just had the one. Didn't want to overstay my welcome. Well, it's 2 o'clock, so they'll be throwing me out anyway, so they shut at 2. St George there in all his finery. That's the sort of thing, when you say scarecrow, we're talking about sort of mannequins, really. Is the sort of thing they put together. They obviously make them themselves, but yeah, that's the main street. I'm not going to walk up and down it. You get the idea. Bunting's out, flags, the English flag out there, across to St George. Yeah, but as I say, got here a bit early, so not much more to show you. I'm going to move on now. Probably the next place I'll reach is going to be Clapham, and then just beyond that there's the campsite that I've not booked into, but I'm hoping to get onto, and that's about 12 miles away, so we're talking about another 3.5 hours with this pack on my back. It is starting to wear a little bit now on the shoulders, although I have got the straps working properly, so it's not as bad as it would have been if I'd been carrying it the way I was at the beginning, but yeah, I'll be glad when I've got it off and got the tent erected, because I've not tried the tent out yet, and I'm not quite sure. I'm sure it'd be easy to put up. We'll see. I might film that. Okay, for now, bye-bye. Well, I've stopped here. We're 2.5 miles out of Ray, according to the sign back there, but I just wanted to stop really to show you what you could clearly see as well, even with this, as I keep boring myself, even with this GoPro. That's Ingleborough. There. And that's part of the Yorkshire Three Peaks, or one of the triumvirate of the Three Peaks, which include Pedigint and Whernside. It's a lovely climb. Lots of people have done it, the Three Peaks. You know, the idea is to try and get around it all in I think 12 hours. I've done it a couple of times, once in 12 hours, once a little bit under. It's about a 24-mile round. It's a good old, it stretches you a little bit. I'm not sure how well I do with it now. Give it a go, but yeah, so I found this little road here, which might take me down towards a campsite I've discovered. I was looking earlier when I was having my pint, and there's a little campsite probably about 7 miles, 8 miles from here now, down this road here, which will mean I'll miss out Clapham altogether. I'll cut that out, and Bentham. It won't really shorten my walking distance too much for the whole journey, but it might bring me sooner to somewhere I can have a go putting this tent up. And as you can see, it's a little bit dark over Bill's mother's. Wherever Bill's mother is, it's dark everywhere. So yeah, it could be a race against time to get the tent up before it absolutely lashes down. I'm not sure, but anyway, I thought I'd just stop here. I've got to readjust the bag again. I've got to get the straps back up and sitting firmly on my shoulders again, so it's not hanging off me like a nappy. And yeah, and I thought I'd show you Ingleborough, and there it is again. It's been with us all day actually, but it's now looming much larger. Okay, let's see how far we get with this campsite. They may not have any accommodation. They may not have any pictures, but we'll see. Well, we're just about to make it into North Yorkshire. I was surprised that it came so quickly. Obviously I knew that the Yorkshire Three Peaks that I mentioned a little earlier were in Yorkshire, hence the name Yorkshire Three Peaks, but I didn't know we got to Yorkshire that quickly, and we have, and there's the proof of it. Well, nothing wrong with that. We have to get into Yorkshire sometime, and we're going to York, so it all fits. A lot of sheep out there. Quite a few hills as well I'm encountering now. It was flat for miles and miles. Probably did about 300 feet of climbing the whole of the first 12 mile. But it's up and down now on these little country lanes. That's okay. It's all preparing me.